Going to be watching game number 4 on GSL Terminus between the Complexity Gaming Crew, CatZ versus Cruncher, Protoss versus Zerg. Going to be looking for some great macro play. We've had actually pretty much all macro maps so far. Shattered Temple, and not so much. That obviously was just a wonky game. But Taldarium Altar, Shakuras Plateau, Crevasse, yeah, good stuff. CatZ spawning down the 6 o'clock position. We do have Cruncher spawning up in the 9 o'clock. Now, what I was talking about earlier with the base is how it's pretty not easy to defend, but consolidated. Loser flips a table. Nice. This is what I was talking about. You could technically defend right here, although it would be very close to the middle. You can get a very solid surround right there, and of course would be close to the watchtower. But what a lot of players do is exactly what you'll see here. You'll see him go for a natural expansion right here down the ramp. Of course, there is a third, which actually on this version is not accessible with the back entrance. Ooh. Alright, well, I stand corrected. We're not playing on that version of this map. There's multiple versions of this floating around on the internet. One of which has a back door, and this one does not. So, Protoss going to be defending the natural there. May decide to go ahead with the expansion. Although now that he has scouted out that his opponent is right here, he may decide to change that up just a little bit. I don't know. Of course, we're watching his money right now. We see he's currently sitting at around 200 supply. No probes are going down. Of course, he is looking to deny this expansion right here. Oh, will he actually drop the natural? Oh, I think he's got it. Yes, he does. Nice psych out by CatZ. That probe running around. I mean, really, the Cruncher didn't really have anything he could do about it. It was either one or the other, and they're so close. I mean, look at that. You could even get them both on the same screen. They're so close. And this one actually has a rich Vespene Geyser. Sometimes you'll see players take this one first because they're so close, and they'll just defend right here and take this one later on. But, you know, it all just kind of depends on what the strategy calls for. You won't see that a lot, but you still will see that sometimes. As far as this game goes, it looks like we are going to see Cruncher open up with that fast expand, forge, get some early defenses, and kind of stick with the play that we saw earlier on in the tournament. Taking this expansion and just kind of sitting around for a little while. We'll wait and see exactly how this ends up. Of course, not mining the gas, would not need that at this point, as the build does not require it. Looking down at the Zerg, you can see he is now getting his spawning pool about 3/4 complete there. Expansion just about done as well. Does he see this? I do not think so. But with the forge in place, he will actually be able to... oh man, I wonder if he can actually drop a cannon in there. Yes, he can. Oh, sneaky, sir. Sneaky indeed. And just in time with that second cannon and the third one right there. Will he actually try to wall these off with pylons? I'm not too sure. It is a little bit more difficult to do in the mineral line back here because you can see it's pretty big space. But you can do it on some maps like Scrap Station. This expansion is going to be a little bit difficult to hold this off here, but you never know. He might be able to pull it off. Those cannons. First one has now landed, so this one is going to defend the pylon and defend these other cannons from Zerglings. He's actually canceling this one, realizing he doesn't really need to commit that many cannons to this engagement. 2 should be plenty, and of course, with the gateway right here going down, we're working on the wall here, trying to get his own units going. But the Zerg is essentially being transitioned back into one base here, and having that spawning pool delayed, certainly not a good thing. You see he's actually mining double gas right now, and as far as the income goes, look at this, 20-20 on the harvesters. Protoss, of course, not getting gas. Zerg going for the immediate access to Tier 2, and also maybe getting a spine crawler here at some point. I don't know. I would actually laugh really hard if he sent this probe up here and tried to actually start cannoning up here in CatZ's main. Actually, he probably could if he dropped like a cannon right here and then sent the probe up here and dropped one and went down towards the gas or around to the spawning pool. Either way, I would actually laugh really hard if he did that. But you see expansion going down right here. Does CatZ actually see this? Yeah, okay, he sees this one. He knows what's going on, but he can't really get out to it and do anything. With this expansion going down, it would actually be kind of helpful to have this one because, like I said, the rich Vespene Geyser. But with the Overlord coming down here, it's spotting this pylon now. What is he really going to do, though? Cannons, 2 of them, they're going to be able to pop off. Actually, if he runs Zerglings out here, he could maybe get around and down and out that way. But with the Spire going down, of course, we had this, of course, in-base proxy hatchery over here. Not really going to be nearly as effective. I kind of saw that in the mini-map, and I'm like, you know, I really don't think Protoss, or I don't think Zerg is going to pull anything off with this. Sure enough, yeah, just taking that out. So that's pretty much to be expected. But down here, CatZ is going with, okay, well, he was getting an infestation pit. I think what he was trying to do was possibly get, excuse me, maybe if he was able to hold this off, get some infestors or something like that. But he's going to need that gas for the mutas if he's actually going to be able to make this work, since he is on one base right now. Of course, with this expansion being canceled right here, yeah, I mean, this is a game, folks. This is definitely a game. We'll leave it at that. Couple of Zerglings running around. That's all that's left of the proxy hatchery. Like I said before, didn't really do any serious damage up there with that. It just kind of built in the corner, and Protoss was able to dispatch that fairly quickly. So no real serious loss there. Speaking of losses, we could see Zerg has definitely suffered so far pretty hefty mineral or resource loss, but Spire is complete. 400 gas, 700 minerals. What is he going to do? He has tons of larvae just sitting around here. Okay, yep, Zerglings, Mutalisk. He's got 4 mutas on the way. And what is he actually doing? CatZ is going... Oh, CatZ. You see what he's doing here, right? He needs the gas. He really needs the gas. He's okay, at least for a little bit on money. So he's just going to build the hatchery over here. Well, all right then, good sir. Well played. Here comes the mutas, 4 in number. Will they be able to do any serious damage? I don't know. There's 2 stalkers running around, but you see they're actually running past the mutas. They are going to be able to come in here and do some damage to probes. Just hit and run. That's pretty much what he's going to have to do. He left 1 probe at 4 hit points. He might decide to double back and try to take that out. There's no cannons up here in the main. Obviously, Protoss does not have blink tech, so he is going to have to run around here the hard way. But with all these Zerglings, oh, I think he was actually trying to get in here and get into the main, but with that wall off, no sir, not going to happen, no way, no how. So it's going to be up to these mutas to try to catch himself up somehow, as we see 27 to 26. So Zerg has done a pretty good job keeping up in the actual drone count, but this expansion here, you see, is definitely going to grow greater in importance as time goes on. 1 cannon here, pretty much keeping these Zerglings and mutas from doing serious damage at the front line. You see, he's trying to get in here with the barrels. Oh, those barrels, I guess they're loaded with some kind of, I don't know, they're probably loaded with gravel, so you just can't knock them over at all. Or maybe lead. I don't know. Either way, Zerglings cannot climb over them, around them, or through them. And looking around here, infestation pit going down, maybe hoping to get some fungal growth to deal with these stalkers running around. Certainly think that'll be a nice addition. Of course, it would be a little bit difficult for him to get in here with those, but I'm sure he's creative. He'll be able to find a way. I mean, this is the guy that's worried about the... or that's tried to do the proxy hatchery on multiple occasions before. So I expect nothing less than absolute entertainment from him. Of course, Cruncher dropping 3 additional gateways here, and I think he'll be in a pretty good spot to try to do some damage. Moving forward here, we have that expansion going down. The pylons dropped. Those cannons will be taken out very quickly as the Zerg is looking to double expand. Now, what will the Protoss actually be able to do here? Like I said, he's going ahead. He's teching up. He's getting that blink upgrade, so he'll be able to actually get out of his base there. But with the threat of the mutas around the map, that is something that he's going to have to take into consideration. Now, the mutas driven away very quickly there by the Protoss. He's actually shifting, possibly back up. Yeah, I was going to say he may decide to shift up back up to the main since those mutas are heading north. But he doesn't want to run around too much. Okay, yeah, now he actually is running up there to the north. I don't think he is actually any way for him to know, just other than simple intuition, which is pretty much. Oh no, he's going to try to engage so many stalkers there. He will suffer some pretty heavy losses. 2 mutas going down, bringing him down to 5.5 actually, with the damage on a couple of those. Definitely not something that is desirable. 44 to 40 right now. The fact that CatZ has been able to kind of balance out the drone production there has definitely helped out a lot. And there we go with that gas. That is certainly something he needs a lot. With the pathogen glands upgrade complete, now a couple spine crawlers going down, some good early defenses there, or not early, but early for the expansion at least. Now, as far as the Protoss goes, you see he's sticking with the Blink Stalkers. He's going to have to get down there. I'm kind of surprised that he doesn't have a robotics bay or any sort of scout down there. You know, I would think that he would probably want to find out what else he's doing. Of course, he did spot something there. I don't exactly remember what that was. It may have been the infestation pit that he canceled later on and then rebuilt. But in the meantime, more mutas coming out to play. See, he had just built a couple additional ones there, and still sticking with the infestors. Of course, with this pylon going down, it is going to delay this. This upgrade. I won't stop it, obviously, but it will negate the help of that chrono boost there. So one chrono boost completely wasted by, well, not wasted, but negated, rather, by CatZ as he is running around, continuing to try to do harassment here. CatZ, of course, maybe looking to expand out in the middle of the map just a little bit, as we saw that Cruncher did earlier on, where we saw him play Zerg as he just proxy right up into his opponent's base with that hatchery spinecrawler push. Very interesting game indeed there. As far as income goes, you can see 50 to 53 on the worker tab. Zerg definitely has a gas advantage. Of course, Protoss just now dropping that third base there. And here we go with the mutas actually coming into the third base. Might be able to force a cancellation on this Nexus. I don't know. You can see these Stalkers are actually now hitting the mid-map. They do have blinks, so they're able to get around a lot quicker. Of course, a few Stalkers warping in here now as well. Looking at the army, you can actually see still actually very close, 95 to 103, but you can see the actual units, and I just see a Dark Templar Shrine going, yeah, okay. That's about 3/4 done there. But the actual units, you can see one Changeling actually is in the field. Where is that Changeling? I'll have to see if I can spot that in a little bit here. More important issues, Cruncher trying to see if he can bust up the line, but the infestors there obviously able to save the day without too much difficulty. Did not get any fungals off. There's that Changeling going down right there, and now CatZ is actually supply blocked. Ooh, that's certainly not a good position to be in. With all the Stalkers running around though, I think it's a very interesting choice that he's continuing to make those, even with all of the fungal growth that is currently present on the field. Look at that. We've got 9 infestors running around, a nice enclosed position. What he could do, he could actually place an infestor or two over here and catch him as he retreats. I'm sure that once the Blank Stalkers run up here, then or once they actually run up there and see the infestors, he's going to try to fall back. Yep, sure enough, there we go, trying to get the fungal. He does land one nice fungal right there as the Zerg player is trying to engage. He does land another nice one, taken out. Wow, look at that, all those Stalkers going down to the very nice fungal placement. More fungals up here. Unfortunately for the Protoss, he does not have enough to really follow it up with. He was able to hold on to this proxy pylon though, so that is going to be fairly important. Although, yes, sure enough, there we go. There's that robotics facility that I was mentioning earlier. Definitely think Colossi will be a great addition and observer as well. He's got to get that range in order to just deal some damage to these infestors, man. You don't want those things running around, fungling your entire army. Certainly not a good position to be in. You know, the fact that he does have this expansion here, he does have this additional gas, he should be able to maintain that production that he wants. And, oh, this poor Changeling getting taken out right there. If this is not asking for a fungal growth, though, I don't know what is. But with the inclusion of these DTs, it might make a difference. I don't know. You can see he does not actually have... Okay, yes, he does have detection right there. Oh, man, this DT, if he tries to walk in, unless he hugs the side, he's going to be taken out, and pop goes the DT right there. He's not even able to actually make it out. And now CatZ knows that DT tech is present on the field, so we're seeing a lot more Zerglings here coming into play, and might have another fungal landing on top of that Dark Templar. This poor Archon just completely behind enemy lines. Now there's the fungal, very beautiful placement on that, keeping a lot of those Stalkers just in place, and that's pretty much going to be it for that attack. Archon was taken out. And Zerglings, for the most part, were mopped up, but those infested Terrans, yeah, they sealed the deal right there. Fungal growth is just so powerful, man. I love seeing it, and taking out groups of Stalkers like that. I'm not saying it's overpowered. I'm just saying it's, as a caster, it's something that I enjoy watching it being used. So as a result of that, we could see they're within 400 resources of each other, but look at the units lost right now. Zerg, of course, that's a lot of Zerglings right there coming into. You have to factor that into the equation. There's that observer keeping an eye in the middle of the map now. Very good idea to get that out in the field. But what is the Zerg player doing? Getting the Ultralisks and the armor upgrade. Of course, you can see he does have 1 armor already, so that will be brought to a total of 3 armor for the Ultras. Of course, the Archon's running around with 3 damage upgrades. They're going to be doing 47 damage, I think. Yeah, 47 damage to the biological units, which is pretty much just darn near everything. And this poor observer just getting taken out right there. Very nice fungal. Good awareness there by CatZ. A couple changelings heading in. Going to try to infiltrate. Certainly not going to be the case, though. Of course, Cruncher having the high ground, or having the low ground with the tower, he is able to spot those before they actually morphed into those fake zealots. Excuse me. Something caught in my throat. So as far as actual vision goes, you can see Protoss has a pretty good amount of vision here on the map. He doesn't have anything down here watching, but the Zerg is pretty much just running around now without a whole lot of pressure on him. He is expanding 2 times. Of course, now that I say that, we are going to have a little bit of Zealot Archon coming in here. No, nothing really to deal with the Infestors still, so this ball will be kind of kept in place. But with the Ultras in here, I'm going to be kind of curious to see how this actually goes. Yep, there we go. The Ultra armor upgrade is complete. For this engagement, we are seeing this Ultras doing a lot of splash damage. Of course, the Zealots trying to engage here. You saw he did engage in this position right next to the pylon, so that did work out very well for not letting him get a complete surround there. But taking out the Infestors, 1-2 at a time. Nice blink, taking out the Ultra. Some minerals gone right there. Pretty hefty loss. Oh, but the fantastic fungal taking out almost all of those Stalkers, certainly keeping them in position for quite some time, as the Zerg player is forced to retreat and try to gather his forces again. He still has the upgrades on the way, plenty of more Zerglings. That's a pretty good choice to get those. He's going to have to do something about the economy, though, as I like how this Overseer is just chilling here on top of the base. Very interesting. Of course, Zealots coming in here, going to be maybe getting the mineral line? No, just charging directly. Okay, now he's going to the mineral line after he taps the hatchery there. Of course, Zerg is going to be able to take that without too much difficulty. Protoss, of course, using this opportunity to try to get into a more favorable position, cutting off his opponent, and now you can see that he is indeed going to be able to get in that spot. Look at those Zealots, man, just able to hold the line there between the hatchery and the minerals. Of course, now he is going to be facing some pressure down here from the south as one Infestor is taken down, but not before a fungal lands. Another one going to be taken out right here, and now you see the Zerglings actually going to be coming into the mineral line right here. We are actually going to be having a midfield base trade here, as all of the workers have been taken out, as the Protoss player is going to have to do something about this. Those Zerglings running around doing lots of damage. I think some of those probes are actually able to get out. Yeah, a lot of those were actually saved, so not quite as big of a loss for the Protoss player as the Zerg, but still something that you definitely do not want to have happen. Of course, the main is mined out for both players there, and wow, really 53 hit points left on that Nexus. So very close to dying, but was able to live at the last second there. As far as the income goes, you could see Protoss is actually neck and neck there, but 64 to 47, 68 now. The nice thing about it is you look at the natural here, it's about halfway mined out there. This one's about halfway as well. This one is getting down pretty low, so this expansion is actually a little bit more important for him than his opponent there, who is currently sitting on 2 bases. He'll be able to hold those just a tiny bit longer than his opponent. But for now, we do have the players still running around 156 to 133. You can just look at the army size, the amount of money invested into that. Definitely a lot more for the Protoss player than the Zerg. So many Archons running around, though. I think that's a great idea with the Ultras and the Zerglings, the Archons with their splash damage and their increased range from 2 to 3. You can see that right there. And yeah, they're just going to do a ton of damage combined with the Zealots. Zealots, I mean, on their own, you see they're going to be doing 22 damage per double swing right there. And now CatZ is out just looking to try to stop any additional expansions. And of course, Cruncher building an expansion here. This is actually, I don't know whether this is incredibly smart or what, but I think that, yeah, I think this is actually pretty smart building this right here. Such a random spot to actually have an expansion, but I don't think that's actually to be expected there. 2 DTs running around, one of them forcing a cancellation of this expansion. Other one warped in right close to the Zerglings. Of course, we don't see any detection hanging out right here at the natural, so we could actually sneak a DT in there if he wanted to. Of course, Zerglings still running around midfield in small packs. I think this pack is actually going to be a good chunk of it taken out. He's trying to use those Stalkers to stop them from running away, getting them cornered. But look at the Zerglings coming in from the rear. Are they actually going to do any serious damage to the Nexus? He is trying to take it out. Nice use of the probes there, but I think this Nexus is going to go down. All those Zerglings were sacrificed to cut Cruncher's income. We can see the result of that now. The income already dipping down a little bit. He is going to be forced to rebuild that 81 to 46 harvesters, so a pretty good spot there. But look at the forces here in play. They do not, oh, they do have the Neural Parasite upgrade now, and now we have the big engagement. Archon's actually mind controlled, doing some serious AoE splash damage, combined with the fungal growth. That is just brutal there. All of the Archons are mind-controlled, just annihilating the Protoss army. So now the Zerg is going to be left to deal with these Archons. He's going to have to use those, or he's going to mop up with Ultras, Ultras with Zerglings or something. Mind-controlling them one or two at a time there, hoping to do some damage. But, yep, sure enough, there we go. Taking them out, finishing them off there. Nice fungal on the DTs, keeping those uncloaked and out of the fight. But, oh, wow, what a fight indeed. We saw them again. Those Archons were stuck there for a second. Another nice fungal. I'm just waiting in anticipation to see if these, the Zerg players can be able to mop this up and mount a counterattack. What a fight, man. That went so well for CatZ. You saw that he was able to mop up with those infestor reinforcements. Looking at the income now, you can see Zerg is definitely sitting in a good spot with the minerals, but the Protoss, oh, the Protoss and his gas. Look at that. He's even managed to keep this one alive here still. Units lost right now. You can spot that it's still... Wow, can you believe it's actually... We're almost 30 minutes into this game, and these guys are 100 minerals away from each other in terms of resources lost so far in this game. Of course, that is going to vary just a little bit right here, as the Probe's looking to try to reinforce with the Stalkers. Some nice blinking, getting those away. Using the terrain to his advantage right there. And this expansion still has not been found yet. That's actually very impressive. Like how he's keeping a couple DTs there. He may decide to send those down and try to harass this expansion. I don't know. He does have a couple Spore Crawlers, actually just one of them, I believe. But like I said, with plenty of infestors there, should be able to deal with it. And there we go. Zergling's actually getting popped off one by one. Checking out for the expansions. He will actually spot this one. And, oh, yep, sure enough, there we go. Just before he dies, he is able to check that out. And now with two DTs here, they should actually be able to do some pretty good defensive work. And cannons, of course, will mop up. Zerglings trying to go and reinforce a couple more DTs. We're en route, though, and looking at the army says now 155 to 124. Still focusing on the Zerglings there. I think that's a pretty smart move considering the amount of Stalkers that he last saw. But the thing is, he doesn't know those High Templar in the field. Look at that. We have 9 High Templar. He does not have the Psystorm upgrade, though. He's just now getting that started right as I mentioned that. The important thing, though, he'll be able to do feedback and knock out a lot of these infestors before they're able to do serious damage. He's going to have to make sure that he catches the ones with the high energy there first, and just leave the lower ones. Although I'm pretty sure that all of these can actually be killed now with one shot with feedback, looking at the energy there. But now more Zerglings coming in here. You can see that CatZ is really trying to bust this expansion. I do like the line there with the Stalkers, forcing the Zerglings to just engage there, and now that is definitely going to be over and out. Good night, sweet Ultralisk, taken out in just a matter of seconds. This expansion still lives. One cannon is down. That's about it. Very nicely handled there. All the while, Protoss looking to move in here. This expansion, you can see it was actually, you can see the Zerg player actually was pushed back here, having sent some reinforcements over to this expansion. Stalkers coming in and reinforcing over here now that that fight is completed. And there's, wow. Oh, what a way to end. GG from CatZ. That is it. The death of the hatchery marks the end of the game. 30-minute matchup on Terminus. Forgot which version this is. I think Re, but yes, what a game. What a game.